Good morning. Welcome to The Morning Touch. I'm Darwin Campbell. The Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about the journey. All of us are on some type of journey in our lives. But how many times have you stopped to focus on where you are in your journey? You know, our journeys are full of challenges. Our journeys are full of battles. Our journeys are full of struggles. But through the challenges and the battles and the struggles, have you taken the time to sit down and think about how I can live through the struggles and the battles on the journey? You know, for that, I want to turn your attention to Psalms chapter 16, verses 5 and verse 11. Lord, you are my portion and my cup of blessing. You hold my future. Verse 11, you reveal the path of life to me. In your presence is the abundant joy. In your right hand are my eternal pleasures. Indeed, we're on a journey. But the first step in a successful journey is understanding who you're walking with. So we're going to ask you, as you sit down, who are you walking with today? You know, there was a song back in the day. It was called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis. And in that song, he sat down and he reflected about his life. And he said something like this: sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening's done, watching the ships rolling in, and I'll watch them roll away again. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. You know, how many people on our journeys waste time? He goes further and he says, I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, because I had absolutely nothing to live for. Nothing was going my way. Watching the tide roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. He said, nothing's going to change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me, so I guess I'll remain the same. So as he sits there on the dock of the bay, he says, I'm sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. There's no need for you to sit on the dock of the bay and waste time. If you take time to take a look at the great expanse, what God has created will send a signal to you that He is the God of the universe and He waits for you to reach out to Him. You know, one of the reasons why many of us don't move ahead, we don't get out of our struggles, we don't get out of our challenges, we are unable to overcome our battles, is because we're sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. We're just sitting there hoping that something's going to come our way, praying that something's going to drop out of the sky like manna from heaven. But while we're sitting on the dock of the bay on our journey, we're just wasting time. That's why I call you back to what David wrote in Psalm 16. God is our peace. And then number 2, walking on our journey and finding peace rather than sitting on the dock of the bay wasting time, we recognize not only that God is God, but that God brings the blessings and the goodness to your life. And then, of course, we have to realize while we're sitting there, we're tired and we're worn, and life has just beaten us up. But while you're sitting there, I want you to focus on the fact, like David says, I keep the Lord on my mind always, because He's at my right hand and I will not be shaken. When you put your hand in God's hand on the journey, you will not be shaken. You will be successful in the battle. You will be successful in the struggle. You will be successful on your journey. But first, you have got to put your hand in the hand of the man who created the giant universe that we live in. Not only that, we must allow God to show us the way. There's no reason for us to waste time sitting on the dock of the bay. There's no need for us to watch the tide roll away. God is saying, recognize me. Put your life in my hand. And when you put your life in my hand and you allow me to guide your path and lead your direction, you will find eternal happiness and eternal pleasure. My friends, in Psalm 16, it does not get any simpler than that. God's word is right and true. Anyone who's been time tested through battles and struggles and journeys, anyone who put their hand in God's hand knows that I'm telling the truth. Through your challenges and your struggles and your battles, don't just sit on the dock of the bay. Recognize that it is God who can help you be successful on life's journey. You know, the Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale. Today, we hope that you have been encouraged, knowing that there is no need for you to waste life and waste time sitting on the dock of the bay. Wasting time. Time is precious. God says, give me your time and I will make your life full of joy and happiness. I hope you're happy at the end of this lesson and encouraged. See you next time on The Morning Touch.